If you are watching this video, you may have already noticed that something is different. It's not paranoia, it's not a coincidence, it's spiritual perception expanding, and those who are chosen feel this first. April 2025 is not just any month. It is a turning point. There are movements happening in the invisible that will directly affect the lives of those who carry a mission. If you have been feeling restlessness in recent days, a strange feeling in the air, as if something is about to happen, this video is for you. The eyes of the chosen were not made just to see the physical world. They were made to perceive what is behind appearances, to identify what others do not notice, to discern, in silence, what is hidden. And in April, this ability will be put to the test. You will notice subtle changes in people close to you. You will begin to see signs in nature, in the behavior of others, and even in your own thoughts. What once went unnoticed will now seem to scream, not because the world has become louder, but because you are becoming more awake. And this is not easy. Seeing too much requires maturity. It takes courage to deal with what appears. Some ties will break, some truths will hurt, and some choices will feel lonely. But all of this is part of a larger process, the realignment of the chosen with their purpose. This video is not just another random piece of content on the internet. It is a reminder, a call, a preparation. Here you will understand the signs that your eyes, both physical and spiritual, will begin to perceive with more intensity from now on. If this message makes sense to you, subscribe to the channel, but not on impulse. Subscribe because here, we do not speak to everyone. Here, we speak to those who carry awareness, to those who feel, to those who came to see what many still ignore. If you are one of them, welcome. April awaits you awake. April will not resemble other months. For the chosen ones, this period will activate a new type of perception. What once went unnoticed will now start to catch your attention. But not in an obvious way. The changes will come through the details. Colors, shapes, movements. Everything will carry a meaning that only you can feel. You may notice lights appearing in unusual places. It could be a reflection in the mirror that lasts longer than usual. A sparkle in someone's eyes. A shadow that passes quickly but leaves a sense of presence. These experiences are neither illusion nor imagination. They are spiritual responses to something within you that is awakening. This visual sensitivity does not happen by chance. When the spirit is ready to see more, the body begins to react. Your eyes will capture vibrations. They are not just images, they are codes. Each strange sensation, each different vision, carries information. And it is important for your next step. Most people will ignore these signs. They will call it coincidence, laugh, or pay no attention. But you are not like most people. The chosen ones do not see as others do. And at this moment, you are being trained to see beyond appearances. Because many things will seem normal, but they will not be. These visions may occur in moments of silence, when you are alone, distracted, or relaxed. Sometimes they will come as sensations, a presence in the environment, a chill for no reason, a sudden urge to leave a place. Pay attention to this. Your body is serving as a bridge between the visible and the invisible. If at any moment you feel fear, breathe. This is not an attack. It is a warning. The energy around you is changing. And with it, your sensitivity also changes. What was once invisible is now revealed. But only if you are willing to observe without running away. April will be intense. Not because something bad will happen, but because you will begin to see the hidden layers of reality. You will notice where there is deceit, where there is manipulation, where there is heavy energy disguised as lightness. Everything will become clearer, but also more uncomfortable, because the truth can sometimes be troubling. Spiritual codes are not delivered in words. They come through images, symbols, dreams, and sensations. Do not try to rationalize everything. Not everything will be logical, but everything will be useful. This is how the spiritual world communicates with those who have eyes ready to see. You may feel that your vision is more acute. Stronger colors, glimmers that appear out of nowhere, quick shadows. You may think you are seeing too much, but you are not seeing too much. You are seeing what is necessary. This is how the training of spiritual sight begins. Do not ignore it. April is opening your perception so that you can see what is truly behind things, and what you see could change the course of your life. It will become more difficult to pretend you didn't see. It will become impossible to close your eyes again. Observe, write down, reflect. If something repeats, pay closer attention. The signs do not insist for nothing. They persist because they carry something you need to understand. And when you understand, you move forward. The month of April is here for that, to activate within you the capacity to discern with your eyes what was previously only felt in the heart. April will be a month in which many masks will fall. This doesn't mean that people will change. It means that you will begin to see what has always been there but hidden. The eyes of the chosen will be sharpened to perceive intentions, manipulations, and disguises that previously went unnoticed. This process may start subtly. Small actions, crossed words, comments that you previously ignored will gain new weight. You will feel when someone is being false. You will notice when an energy is no longer aligned with your own. And even if you try to ignore it, something inside you will alert. This is no longer for you. It's not about judging anyone. You are not being called to point out mistakes, but to discern what still belongs on your path and what has already completed its cycle. This discernment can be uncomfortable, especially when it involves close people, old friends, family, partners. No one will be exempt from this process. Some will naturally drift away. Others will act strangely, as if revealing something they have always hidden. Do not fight against it. April is a month of revelations. The spiritual energy will be cleansing the environment of the chosen ones, and this includes relationships. What is no longer aligned will be exposed, not out of malice, but out of necessity. It may hurt, it may confuse, but deep down you will feel relief, because maintaining connections based on illusion drains your energy. It's like trying to walk with a weight that no longer makes sense to carry. When the truth appears, it may hurt at first, but it heals in the long run. And you have been called to live with truth. This is a month where you need to observe more than react. Notice how people talk to you. See if their gestures match their words. Feel the energy after each encounter. If you feel drained, insecure, or disconnected, this is a sign. Your field is more sensitive. Trust this reading. April is not bringing breakups by chance. It is organizing your internal and external space so that your mission is not sabotaged. And often the greatest sabotages come disguised as friendship, care, or loyalty. But if there is no truth, there is no growth. The chosen one needs clarity around them. You may also notice that people who once attracted you now cause discomfort. This is a sign of energetic change. You are changing, and your field is rejecting what no longer corresponds to the new vibration. Do not fight against this. Honor what was good, but release what has already fulfilled its role. Use this month to observe and understand. Write down what you feel, what you perceive, what has changed in each relationship. You will be surprised at how much you already knew but did not want to accept. The spiritual eyes will reveal what the emotional self tried to hide for a long time. And you will finally understand the reasons behind so many things. Not all signs will come through words or people. In April, nature will become one of the main forms of communication with the chosen ones. Animals, sky, wind, light, water, everything can carry a message. However, these messages will not come in sentences. They will arrive as sensations, repetitions, and unusual occurrences. The planet is in purification. This is not just physical, it is spiritual. The Earth is reacting to the energies that humanity has been emitting. And the chosen ones, being more sensitive, will perceive these changes before others. They will manifest in the environment, in the climate, and in the small details that go unnoticed by those who are still spiritually asleep. You may notice, for example, that certain animals will start appearing more frequently. A bird that lands near you and stares at you. A cat that crosses your path twice in one day. A dog that barks whenever a person approaches. These repetitions are messages. They carry something you need to perceive. These signs are not coincidences. They are part of the universe's language. Each animal has an energy, a symbolism, a spiritual function. When they appear insistently, it is because they want to alert you to something, be it an internal change, a decision that needs to be made, or an energy around you that needs to be observed. The sky will also speak. April may bring unusual visual phenomena, clouds in distinct shapes, sudden lights, temperature changes at odd times. All of this, when observed attentively, carries information. It may be a call to vigilance, a reminder that something is being aligned, or even a confirmation that you are on the right path. The wind is another powerful messenger. In moments of silence, it may come suddenly like a spiritual touch. It can carry a feeling, a memory, an answer. Many ancient cultures considered the wind to be the voice of the spirits. If during a moment of doubt or prayer, the wind blows strong, listen to what your heart feels at that moment. The trees, the soil, the movement of the clouds, everything around you will be in tune with something greater. The chosen ones do not walk alone. They are assisted. However, not all warnings will come in words. Thus, April will be the month of symbolism, a period where nature will make clear what needs to be understood. You may feel a stronger connection to certain places, a corner of your house that now radiates peace, a tree you feel the urge to lean against, a place where you feel heaviness or discomfort. All of this is energetic perception. The environment is reacting to your frequency. Pay attention. Dreams may also intensify, and often they will be connected to natural elements: water, fire, storms, animals, forest, sky. Each of these symbols can have a unique meaning. Therefore, noting down what you dream, even if it seems confusing, will be essential. It may be the way the spiritual realm has found to alert you about something you still do not see while awake. Do not dismiss anything. If something seems repetitive or catches your attention differently, stop, observe, breathe, feel. Do not rush to your phone. Do not seek distraction. The answer may be right there, in that simple breeze, in that bird's sound, in that beam of sunlight shining through the window exactly when you were thinking of something important. April is the month when the invisible will manifest through the visible. The signs will come out of the abstract and take the form you can understand. Nature, environment, energy, and time. Those who are attentive will grasp them. Those who are distracted will miss important messages. Be presence, be sensitivity, be silence when needed. The world around you is more alive than ever, and it is trying to tell you something. April 2025 brings a special invitation for us to look inward. It's as if an inner mirror emerges, revealing parts of ourselves that have been hidden for a long time. Not by chance, but because we are now ready to see. These internal shadows are not enemies. They are merely aspects of ourselves that, due to pain or fear, we have pushed away from our consciousness. Childhood traumas, heartbreaks, failures that shame us. All of this begins to ask for space. When these memories and emotions emerge, the first impulse is to flee. We want to return to the comfort zone where we pretend these parts do not exist. But this movement only strengthens the power they have over us. The courage to face what hurts transforms poison into medicine. Each recognized old wound loses a bit of its strength. It's not about reliving the pain, but understanding that it no longer needs to define who we are today. This process can manifest in intense dreams or memories that surface without warning. You may feel emotions that seemed resolved or think of people you haven't seen in years. Your body also speaks, bringing physical sensations linked to these emotional contents. Some people experience deep sadness, followed by inexplicable relief. Others notice repetitive patterns in relationships or decisions. These are pieces of the puzzle of your story, revealing themselves to form a more complete picture. There is no growth without discomfort. Gardeners know that pruning is necessary for new flowers to bloom. Similarly, this inner mirror shows what needs to be pruned in our psyche so we can flourish. The beauty of this process is that it does not ask for perfection. It asks only for presence and honesty. Being willing to see without judgment is already half the way. The other half is accepting that these shadowy parts are also you. During this period, self-care practices become doubly important. Meditation, reflective writing, therapy, contact with nature, anything that helps you stay present when emotions intensify. The wounds that emerge do not appear to punish you. They arise asking for integration. Each denied aspect consumes vital energy to remain repressed. When we embrace it, that energy is released for higher purposes. There is wisdom in this timing. If these issues are appearing now, it is because you have developed internal resources to deal with them. What would seem impossible years ago now becomes a challenge you can face. This process of self-knowledge is not about finding more flaws in yourself. It is about recognizing your complete humanity and discovering that, even with imperfections, you are worthy of love and fulfillment. April marks only the beginning of this journey. Each internal revelation opens doors to deeper levels of freedom and authenticity. The courage you show now builds the foundation for your truest future. April also brings a time of separations. People who have been part of your journey for years may suddenly distance themselves. Friendships that seemed solid may cool off. Relationships may come to an end without satisfactory explanations. These changes are rarely smooth. They usually come with intense arguments, uncomfortable silences, or even painful betrayals. Separation can feel cruel at the moment, as if something valuable is being ripped away from you. The instinct is to fight against this distancing, to explain, convince, plead for everything to go back to how it was. This resistance comes from the fear of loneliness and uncertainty about who we will be without these people by our side. Each person in our life occupies a specific energetic space. When someone no longer resonates with your current growth, staying together creates a dissonance that drains both. It's like trying to force different puzzle pieces to fit together. The uncomfortable truth is that not all relationships are meant to last forever. Some served specific purposes, teaching patience, showing your worth, developing compassion. Once that lesson is complete, the connection naturally dissolves. Feel the pain of separation completely. Cry, write, talk about it. Honor what that relationship meant to you. But do not confuse the necessary mourning with a signal to try to rebuild bridges that need to remain undone. When the attachment to old connections is released, something surprising happens. Space arises for relationships that truly reflect who you are becoming. Nature abhors a vacuum. Where something leaves, something new always comes in. The bonds that survive this period of purification will have a different quality. They will be deeper, more honest, and more nourishing. You will notice a new lightness in interactions, without that feeling of diminishing yourself to please or keep the peace. This process of relational filtering is not about judgment or superiority. It is simply a natural reorganization that occurs when frequencies change. Some people stay on the same wavelength, others do not, and there is no right or wrong in that. April marks a point where masks fall and truths emerge. Relationships based on obligation, guilt, or dependency begin to show their cracks. Those grounded in authenticity, mutual respect, and collective growth strengthen. Trust the process. The connections that truly belong in your life will find ways to stay or return when appropriate. The space opened by these necessary goodbyes will be filled by people who reflect your new reality. During this period, you will likely feel an intensification of emotional and mental pressures. It's as if an invisible force is pushing you out of your comfort zone, even when all you want is to stay in the familiar. This internal pressure is not your enemy. It is a call from the wisest part of you, asking for movement and growth. Like a seed that needs to break its shell to become a plant, you also need to break limitations to expand. The signs of this pressure may manifest as persistent insomnia, thoughts that do not quiet down when you try to sleep, vivid dreams that seem to convey messages. Sleep, once a refuge, may become a space for intense processing. Anxiety may also increase. Not pathological anxiety, but a sense of urgency, as if time is speeding up. You may feel your heart racing for no apparent reason or experience restlessness that you cannot name. Many feel an increased desire for isolation, not due to depression, but out of a need for space to process so many internal changes. Social interactions may seem superficial or drastic when compared to the depth of what is happening inside. Physically, your body responds to this pressure. Tension in the shoulders and neck, headaches, altered digestion. These symptoms are physical manifestations of a deeply spiritual process. Your body is processing more than just food. When this pressure reaches uncomfortable levels, return to the basics. Breathe consciously, allowing the air to reach your abdomen. This breathing activates your parasympathetic system, calming the body and opening space for mental clarity. The feeling is one of deep relief. Finally, someone who understands without you having to explain. Someone who does not find your perceptions strange, or your concerns exaggerated. Someone who sees the world with eyes similar to yours. These connections often happen in unexpected places: a supermarket line, a waiting room, a park where you decided to walk following a sudden intuition. The universe creates these accidents with impressive precision. An invisible network begins to form. People who once felt isolated in their perceptions now find counterparts. Ideas are exchanged, resources shared, support offered. A community emerges based not on geography, but on spiritual affinity. These connections bring renewed strength. The path that seemed lonely is now shared. Doubts find echo and validation. Individual gifts complement each other, creating possibilities that none could manifest alone. Be alert to the signs. A person mentioned repeatedly by different sources. A name that resonates. A book recommended that just happens to cross your path several times. These synchronicities often indicate important connections about to form. April marks only the beginning of this process of weaving a web of meaningful relationships. Like drops that come together to form a river, awakened individuals begin to recognize their collective potential. Together, they become a much more powerful force for transformation. Always remember, you have never been truly alone. The sense of isolation was merely a temporary illusion, necessary for your individual development. Now that phase completes, and the shared journey reveals itself as the next natural step. April is the beginning of the mission. Final speech. April will not be easy, but it will be essential. What your eyes see, both physical and spiritual, will transform you. It will awaken you. It will prepare you. Chaos is just the backdrop. The truth lies within you. And now, more than ever, it is time to trust the signs and walk with faith. You were not chosen to see as everyone sees. You were chosen to see beyond. And now, it is your turn to perceive what many are still asleep to recognize.